Alright, what's good YouTube? It's Nemo, and today I'm back with another video on Bronny James. Now, if you haven't seen my videos, I have a video when Bronny committed to USC, and I also have a video about when Bronny went into cardiac arrest. Today is going to be more of a rant. I'm probably not going to edit this much. It's just going to be me talking about how I feel with this current draft situation with Bronny James. Now, if you go back to my USC video when I talked about Bronny, I said it didn't make sense to me other than the fact that Bronny wanted to stay home with him going to USC, with them having Boogie and Isaiah Collier. But ultimately, that's what he decided to do. Cool. He went into cardiac arrest, magically somehow got cleared to play within the season, played over 20 games. To me, it was a miracle. It sounded like something out of a book or a movie. But during his time on the court, Bronny did not look like a draftable player at USC. And that's just me keeping it 100. I don't have a problem with Bronny. I think Bronny's a good player. I just didn't see him as a NBA draft prospect during his time at USC this past season. And ESPN didn't either. Because going into last week's draft combine, ESPN had Bronny ranked 98th on their big board. Now, if you didn't know, the NBA draft only has 60 picks. And that's max. Some years they don't have 60 picks because teams don't have their picks. So they'll have like 59, 58, 57. But maximum the NBA draft has is 60 picks. So basically, essentially ESPN was saying that they didn't see Bronny as a draftable prospect with him being ranked 98th. Now, last week at the draft combine, Bronny did his thing. He hooped. And he made a jump from 98th to 54th on ESPN's big board, which I didn't like initially because I feel like what somebody does throughout the season should hold more weight than what somebody does in the span of 2 or 3 days at a combine. That's just how I feel, because I can have the worst days of my life hooping at that combine and drop. Or I can have the best days of my life hooping at that combine and rise and never hoop like that ever again. But I ain't mad at it because AJ Johnson, also Jalen Green's little brother, he also made a big jump with his draft combine performance. So with that situation, it's not just Bronny. So, you know what I'm saying? Cool. But here's a problem I have with Bronny being ranked 54th. When you look at what's around him now on the ESPN big board, you have Adem Bona at 51. Now, Adem Bona played for UCLA rival school, was a all Pac-12 type of player, won Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year as a sophomore. Then you have a spot above Bronny, 53, Jamal Shead. Jamal Shead was first team All-American. Big 12 Player of the Year. Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. So it's not like Jamal Shead's just one of those guys that just scored a ball, because we see that all the time in college. But Jamal Shead is an all-around player. Can score it, can pass it, can defend. He does it all from the point guard position. So, with that being said, Jamal Shead's at 53 and Bronny's at 54. And then I know age is always a factor when it comes to the NBA draft. And you might say, well, Jamal Shead's a 4-year player. Adem Bona's a sophomore. So those guys, if they would have played like that as freshmen, they'd probably be a first-round pick. But because it took them time to develop into what they currently are, they're projected to go later second round. And that's cool. That makes sense. But then I go down to 71 on the ESPN big board, and I see Trenton Flowers. Now, you don't know who Trenton Flowers is. Trenton Flowers was came out of the class of 2023. He actually played at Sierra Canyon briefly with Bronny, And he played for Strive for Greatness briefly with Bronny. So, like, him and Bronny are familiar with each other. Trenton Flowers had committed to Louisville, decided not to go there, and he went to the NBL and played professionally overseas. Now, I'm about to pull it up. If you look at Trenton Flowers' stats overseas, he averaged 5 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 0.4 assists on 13 minutes a game, shooting 46% from the field and 42% from 3. Now, in my opinion, those aren't bad stats, especially playing 13 minutes a game. Putting up 5 points, 3 rebounds. That's not bad at all. Especially looking at his shooting percentages, 42% from 3 is good for anybody. 46% from the field, solid. Then, so that made me want to go look at Bronny's stats. Like, how was Bronny looking? Then I go over to Bronny's stats, and Bronny averaged 4.8 points a game, 5 points a game, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. So I'm like, okay, Bronny put up fairly similar stats. Bronny also played 19 minutes a game. So Bronny was playing more minutes, putting up similar stats, shooting 37% from the field, 27 from 3, 68 from the free throw line. And it's like, dang. Trenton Flowers had less time in a professional league where guys who dominated college basketball are playing their professional careers at. Put up similar numbers, if not better, in less time than Bronny did in college. Yet Bronny's at 54 and Trenton Flowers at 71. Like, to me, that just doesn't make sense. And it hurts when I go on social media and I see people talking about the whole situation, because, like I said, right now I don't see Bronny as a draftable player based off of what he did as a freshman in college. I'm not saying he will never be a draftable player, but based off of his freshman year production, I do not see Bronny as a draftable player. And so I find it crazy when I hop on Twitter and I see people happy and wanting Bronny to get drafted because they want to see black nepotism. African American people want to see black nepotism. And that's fine. If you want to see black nepotism, that's fine. But here's my problem. When you look at the guys that are under Bronny on the big board, that produce better, that had better production in college, and maybe more deserving of that 54th spot, a lot of those guys are also African American brothers. So you're okay with somebody taking an opportunity away from someone else who worked hard their whole lives for it just to see black nepotism? Like, to me, that's not okay. But with that being said, in conclusion, I feel like Bronny, whether he decides to transfer, because if I'm not mistaken, his name is still in the transfer portal, or he decides to stay at USC, I think Bronny should stay in college another year. With the whole cardiac arrest situation, which I feel like is big, and that could have altered the way he produced on the court, I feel like he should come back another year, show like, cardiac arrest is behind me. All that's behind me. I'm here to hoop. I'm here to put up numbers. I'm here to win ball games. I want to see him win, put up numbers, put the whole heart situation in the past, and show that he's a draftable prospect. But to me, there's nothing that Bronny has done other than his couple of scrimmage games at the NBA Combine to show that he's a draftable prospect. And I don't feel like 2-3 days at the Combine really proves that someone's a draftable prospect. But that's my little rant. I know I haven't been as consistent as I want to be. Been really busy, but with the draft coming up, I have several videos that I want to do surrounding the draft. I have a 2-part OTE video that I'm going to release around the draft. So y'all be on the lookout for that. If you like the video, make sure you hit the like button, you subscribe, and you share the video with your friends. Until next time, I'm out.